All right, we are back. It's been a little while. We got another episode of Billinico commentary. Today we're going to be talking about business over emotions. That's the title of this episode, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to get a little warmed up. We're going to play a commercial, then we're just going to get right into it. So let's play the commercial real quick, and then we can start.
Live with no fear.
All right. So let's get the video in the backdrop. So today we're going to be using this interview that Earn Your Leisure, shout out to them. They do the Market Mondays, which is very good, very informative. You can gain a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight into the current stock market, the top businesses, gets insight into the businesses and what's going on with them financially. They also talk about a lot of different executives, I wouldn't, maybe not a lot of different executives, but they talk about, the popular ones such as Elon Musk, I almost said Steve Jobs, not Steve Jobs, but Jeff Bezos and the likes. And they give you a lot of different insights and perspectives in what's going on currently. They talk about technology, the semiconductors and AI and stuff like that. So if you're not aware of certain things that are going on, this is a great show to keep yourself informed about what's going on out there. So, I watch the show frequently and I appreciate what they do. So before I start my commentary, I just want to start by saying that just to, let that be known. What they do can't be understated and it can't be duplicated. To be honest, what they do is very unique and it's very well done. And the guests that they get is one of the main reasons that they stand out. I do see a lot of hate that they get on the internet, and it's kind of, unfortunate, but that comes with the territory. When you're winning at such a high level, you're going to get people that are going to, poke holes and they're going to pick at whatever they can pick at, which could be a good thing because they could see things that you can't. So hopefully EYL is watching the haters or the quote unquote haters and they're learning, what their critiques are and, they are adjusting and making sure that they can cover whatever they feel that they're lacking in. with that being said, this main topic is going to be about, is Donald Trump racist, right? And the implications of thinking someone or assuming someone's racist based on how they make you feel, or what other people or what other media platforms or what other political agendas are being pushed on to you. You know, these can have implications in your business decision making. And I think a lot of Black men need to learn to separate their emotions from business. That doesn't mean you need to be a savage or, you know, you need to be cold, but you need to recognize when you're just being emotional and you're being manipulated. Now, do I think Donald Trump is a racist? Personally, let me just get this out the way. Based on what I see, I can't say that. Because if he's a racist, then what is Joe Biden? Right? So we have to really, really, really be cognizant of what we're feeling, who's making us feel this way, and what's the result of us feeling this. Because if we want to be businessmen and we want to conduct business, you know, my commentary is always going to bring it back to business and how you can provide, or how we can provide better insight into how this affects your business, such as thinking someone is racist and not dealing with them. Let me give an example before I start the video. Think about the Godfather of Harlem. If you don't know about the Godfather of Harlem, you should probably check out the show. Starring Forrest Whitaker. He's playing a character named, I believe, Bumpy Johnson. And he was in Harlem, very powerful figure and a quote unquote boss who because he had a criminal organization and he also had legit organizations as well on the books or whatever. And he had to deal with people in, I believe, the 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever the time period was, where, you know, what America was. It was dominated by, you know, white men. And he had to come to the table as the quote unquote Godfather of Harlem, as a boss, right? And he had to deal with people that definitely did not like him. If you think what's going on now is racism, then imagine what was going on almost 100 years ago, or a little less than 100 years ago. But he did business and he had to be smart and he had to do what he had to do in order to get what he needed to get. You know, he still operated as an independent entity as the best as he could from what I saw in the show, but you have to realize it just is what it is. And when I hear Black people talk, okay, you think he's racist. Why do you keep talking about it? Why do you keep repeating it? Because there's an emotion there. It doesn't even make sense because you're just, you know, we're repeating the same things over and over and over when you're not even talking about the other side, which means you're being manipulated. Because unless I hear you talking about Joe Biden just as much, if not more, based on his track record and his history, you know, I'm going to play the video on what they say. And if you look at Don Peebles' rebuttal, why don't they have this type of energy for Joe Biden? It's because they are emotionally manipulated and their emotions are involved. And that's a little interesting and worrisome when you are conducting business, especially high-level business. It just doesn't really make logical sense. So let's play a little bit of the video. I can't play too much because I don't want to get copy strike. This is just for educational purposes. You know, this is news, commentary, whatever. And we're just gonna, you know, have a quick conversation and go from there. But let's play a little bit of the video and hopefully we're at the right spot.
And what I was impressed most was it's a combination of what InvestFest offered. It offered information, unparalleled.
see.
And they can send it to me, Don Peebles.
Hold on. I think I went too far.
Which I think is inflammatory.
Look, Ian already sounded Ian, listen, man. I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but sometimes you got to look in the mirror. And if you wasn't raised, I'm not saying Ian wasn't raised with his father, but a lot of black men weren't raised in traditional households with a strong male figure. It just is what it is. We have to look in the mirror. It's okay to say, you know what? Maybe I have some traits and some behaviors that aren't as masculine as they could be because I never saw that example. So when I think someone's racist or when I see something that might be racist, I overreact and I harp on it because that's what I saw, maybe my mothers do and my aunts do. At the end of the day, you are a man. You protect women, you provide for women, and they need to trust you to make that hard, tough decision that they may not agree with. And at the end of the day, once they see the results of what you produce after making that tough decision, they're going to respect you more. A lot of black men are scared to really stand up and say, I don't think Donald Trump is a racist, or if anything, I think Joe Biden is more racist. So we have this big cluster of confusion because the men aren't stepping up and just saying what needs to be said. Don Peebles is going to get a little bit of that. And what he does is he's going to show leadership and experience. So let me see if I got the right spot.
What people did, in West Virginia, they joined the Ku Klux Klan. I found that.
So yeah, we good.
So no, I don't think that.
Okay. What is he racist?
I ain't Rashad. No, look. Let's get to it.
What's your take? What is your personal opinion on Donald Trump? Because the things that we see are disturbing a lot of times, right? But I'm old.
So what you see is disturbing, but Joe Biden said, if you, Rashad, Troy, Ian, if you don't vote for me, you are not black. He said, if you do not vote for me, you are not what you think you are. He's telling you, he's saying he controls you. He's saying he's your master in a way. And this is before whatever's going on with him. I don't wish anything bad to the guy, but this is before his brain got to where it is now. He was cognizant. And whatever is going on, maybe that was early stages of it, and he can't even hide certain things. And that was the beginning stages. He said, if you don't vote for me, you are not black. And he just recently said, when he wants to, pay homage to the black community, he goes to the projects. Like, what? How many black people are in the projects? What is going on? You think all black people are in the projects? Like, come on, man. But that's not disturbing. There's no headlines on that on these quote unquote independent platforms. Because we know the big platforms aren't going to say that. I think Tariq Nasheed posted something. And I'm surprised I haven't seen Tariq Nasheed on EYL. I haven't seen Tariq Nasheed on Joe Budden yet. These are just interesting things that I'm seeing on these independent platforms. But what Trump did is disturbing. Come on. I wouldn't mind them saying anything about Trump that they say if they did the same to Joe Biden. Come on, if you are a black man and you have any type of self-respect, if someone tells you, yo, hey, if you don't come with me and do what I say, you're not what you claim you are. You're not a black man. Come on. The crime bill, 94 crime bill. He enslaved millions of black men. It's slavery. It's modern day slavery. He enslaved them. Well, let's continue.
Always interested to know what people that actually know somebody, what their thought process on that person is.
I don't think that Donald Trump is any more racist than Joe Biden.
He said he doesn't think that he's any more racist than Joe Biden. Now, based on what I just said, Joe Biden, he put, if not millions, hundreds of thousands of black people in jail with that crime bill that put a lot of nonviolent offenders in jail, which meant they were in servitude. Let's just call it what it is, modern day slavery. He said, if you don't vote for me and do what I say or what I think is best for you, you're not black, which means he doesn't respect you. It is what it is. If you don't follow the protocol, then you are not part of your group. So that means you can't be a free thinker. You can't be an independent man. So do you think he respects you? Trump, at the end of the day, is just saying it is what it is. I come from a side where we do this and we get it like this. To be honest, they don't respect you. So what do you got to lose? You want to do something with me? You want to work with me? So when Ice Cube presented a deal or opportunity, he got attacked for it. So what are we doing here? I think EYL just got recently accused of being conservative, and they got attacked by their quote unquote, a segment of their supporters because they got off script. If you can't speak your mind truthfully and say the truth, then what's the point? You're just a different version of a slave. You're just a rich slave. You're still controlled. So I gotta give Don Peebles credit for saying what he said, because he knows the audience that's watching this. He knows how they think. They're highly emotional, they're highly reactive, and they're highly volatile. And that is what? Bad for business. Now he's up, and he knows that this commentary is gonna pass. But let's get into the mindset of the people that want to run businesses and that want to be successful. You can't be emotional and volatile. You can't be up, down, left, and right. You got to just see straight, and you got to know what's in front of you. Then you can move accordingly. Because if you're working with someone like a Joe Biden who doesn't respect you, that person's just going to undercut you. You're not going to get the best in return, because they're not going to give you the best in return. They're going to take from you. You're going to lose. You go with someone like Trump, you don't even necessarily have to work with them or that side as well. But you have more leverage. Look up what leverage is. You need leverage in order to get a good deal for yourself, or to try to negotiate a good deal. You have no negotiating power with the other side, because they don't respect you. And they don't even like you. They don't care.
And in fact, I think his policies have been less oppressive to our people than Biden's, for example. The 1994 crime bill, I just can't get over that. I think, Senator Biden advocated.
So, if you've been on YouTube, if you watched a lot of videos, this information has been talked about a lot. It's finally starting to get to the forefront, and you got bigger names starting to finally speak about it. You have to understand, the truth is the truth. People are going to keep trying to, even EYL to an extent, they're going to hear this, and then next week Trump is going to say something, the media is going to push it, they're going to follow along, but that's not going to bring the results that's going to make them really, really get what they want. And I know what they want. It don't matter how much money you quote unquote get, how many deals you get, when you don't get that power. And every black man that's listening to me knows what I'm talking about. That power, what comes with power? Respect. You got to do it right. You got to face the fire. You got to face it from your people that may not agree with you. I'm sorry. but they're going to respect you more because they're going to see the actual results. When you face what's the truth, you're going to get real results from it. Because the Democrats aren't going to be able to use you anymore. You're going to be able to get more leverage, more respect, and then the ball's in your court. And then what comes with that? Power.
Advocated for that. And then before that, the 1986 mandatory sentencing that led to the mass incarceration of primarily Black men. So I don't think, I mean, I've got a very...
Come on. Like, what are we talking about? We have to learn how to balance emotions with logic. And I get it. There are controversial figures like Donald Trump, but you have to learn. The media will use one thing he says, and they will market that to you, and they will chop it, flip it, and they will make it seem like it's the worst thing possible. So what I suggest is watch the full thing that he was saying, whether it's a speech. Take your time out to do your due diligence. You have to evolve. And this isn't for everybody because everybody's not going to do this. But the people that really want to be successful, that really want to run businesses, that's what it takes. It takes you doing your due diligence. Listen to the full context. And then once you start realizing, wait, they took this piece of what he said, turned it into this to make it seem like this. What else have they been doing? And vice versa. Look at, maybe he says something you think that's not true, investigate it. But you're going to find out who's been manipulating you, and then it's not going to feel good. But what is going to feel good is once you start using that, you're going to see a lot more success. You're going to see your bank account go up. You're going to see opportunities go up because your mind's going to work different. You're going to see much clearer. You're going to be much more stable. You're actually going to be happier, more content. You know why? Because you're no longer manipulated by the media, by the liberal media, the Democrat media, or the conservative media. You're going to be a person that could think and see clear. And you're going to be able to move accordingly to what's the truth.
Cordial and friendly relationship with Donald Trump. He's done nothing but treat me with respect. He has never said anything.
So imagine someone that you really met in real life. They treated you cool, respect. And then people are saying, no, he's racist because the TV told them that he was racist. This EYL was a business platform. Entrepreneurs. Donald Trump is an entrepreneur. He had a show about entrepreneurship, whether it failed or not. He embodies an American entrepreneur. And they don't even try to, well, I'm not going to say they don't try to attempt to speak to him, but they're calling the man, like, yo, if this guy is racist, have the courage to sit down with this quote unquote racist in front of you and speak with him face to face. One, it's good for your business. It's good for the ratings. It's good for the views. It's good for content. Like, it's so boring seeing people that think liberal just sit in their box and just talk to each other, calling people racist. Have the courage, like Muhammad Ali did back in the day, like Malcolm X did back in the day, and sit in front of the quote unquote opposition or someone that you don't agree with. Go on Fox and have an interview. Talk with everybody. I don't get it. And you want people that really can think to respect you? Now, I respect the information that you're giving, but that respect only goes so high because I know there's another level to this. And you know what I'm talking about. Because there might be one of y'all that, no, listen, this ain't for everybody. I don't need my commentary to get millions of views. My commentary is for businessmen, executives, entrepreneurs, whether you're a startup, a random person that maybe you could be broke in the hood, but you got that mind and you got that spark, and you could be a billionaire and that hears this and knows what I'm talking about. Because it's truth. I'm speaking truth. And I'm not speaking with emotion. I'm speaking with passion. Rashad, no. Maybe Rashad, maybe it's Rashad. He knows what that would do if he sat down with Trump and had a controlled conversation with him and asked the tough questions. And maybe you did get him. Maybe you can like prove that he's racist. Maybe you could. Or maybe you can be like, oh, wow, I learned something. Because that's what it's about, right? Or are we the ignorant ones? You want to learn, right? Ian? You want to be a person that learns? You want to grow? But you can't sit down and talk and ask that guy who's running for president? You're an independent media platform? But you can only talk to one side or people that you quote unquote like and agree with? Come on.
Contrary or negative about Black Americans. To me, the only thing he has ever, when the topic of Black Americans comes up, it's a question from him: how can he be more supportive of Black entrepreneurs, and what can he do?
If you're around anyone that says they don't believe that or they don't want to hear that, look at their life. Look at where they're at. Look at the type of person they are, the type of vibe they give. Most like they just got some kind of spirit in them that's just negative, or they just someone that doesn't believe, that doesn't want to try. And if they up, then they're probably someone that's manipulative. And when I mean up, I mean someone that's well off in society. You know, they seem smart and knowledgeable, but they're if someone said, hey, yo, Trump wants to actually talk to you, he wants to meet with you, and you, nah, I don't want to talk to him, he's racist. It's like, wait, actually, no, I met him, yo. He's really not racist. Actually, I've known him for over 20 years. He's really not. I mean, I don't think he's racist. I mean, yo, do you want to just let me bridge that gap? Let me bridge that gap. That's what Peebles is saying. Let me bridge that gap with you. Oh, nah, he's right. But, yo, I know you're intelligent. I know your brain is able to comprehend things and break things down. So why don't you want to meet with him? Oh, you're manipulated. You have an agenda. Or you have an emotional spirit inside of you. And where did you get that from? That comes back to were you raised by a single mother? And that's not to disparage or disrespect any female or woman, because guess what? Women say, yo, it's hard being a single mother. So you can say it's hard being a single mother, but you can't criticize the products that come from that. We say, oh man, you came from a 2-parent household, man. That's an advantage. But when someone says, hey, yo, you came from a single mother and I think you have some traits or some trauma from that just makes you feel and look at things a certain way. Come on. You got to start looking. You can listen. You could be a listener. Like I said, you can be someone that came from a certain environment, because I did. And you could come from a single mother, right? And you have a chance, but you have to take that chance to think and use your logic and put that emotion to the side. I get it's frustrating. It's like facing your cognitive dissonance head on. It's one of the most challenging things that you can do, is breaking your programming. But once you get past it and get to the other side, you're free. There's 3 levels of the slavery, in my opinion. First level was the physical slavery. The second level was the criminal aspect, the tricking. Excuse me. The third level is mental, spiritual. I just want people to think. I just want people to think. By the way, go to Billinico.com. We got new merch, we got new gear, and it's designers, high end, it's quality. And yeah, it's competing with some of the biggest brands as well. which is why this is such a unique thing. You know, you have such a opinionated business commentary, but you know, we got fashion as well, and we got more content and stuff. So, you know, I think we're going to pause it here actually, and we're going to do a part 2, and we're going to play a little bit more of the video. But